Let's talk about some of it then from our own personal perspectives, because I think it's interesting after reading the book to reflect on it and get a free therapy session. So I'm 100% self-denying, I think. Well, in the sense of I'm very generous with other people. Like, you benefit from that.
Oh, yeah. Took me out to dinner the other night before the football was great.
Yeah, I like spending money on other people, but I won't spend money on myself. Like, I feel guilty about it. I don't know. I've got more money now than I've ever had, and I still find it very difficult to spend on myself, for sure.
So what's your sense of where that comes from?
I've always been obsessed with money. One of my earliest memories was like hiding money under the sofa when I was about 4. I used to like hide it, and then my mum would like try and borrow it off me. Like, I remember that. And I used to charge her interest on the money. So she always used to say my dad was obsessed with money like me. Like, everyone would say that, but I didn't know my dad. So that, and then I had like a lot of bad experiences with money in my 20s, which probably moved it the other way, you know? So yeah, it's always been a dominant theme, money in my life.
And how was she with money, your mum?
She was pretty good. She didn't have much. It was just me and her. So she was like a spreadsheet person, always doing, you know, like, she didn't invest, she didn't really save, but I always never went without, you know. I always remember having nice clothes and things like this. Everyone where I lived was poor. So I didn't think that we didn't have much money. You know, it wasn't like I was consciously aware that we were skinned. I didn't realise people had lots of money until I went to uni. And then I saw them.
But your sense was that she had it under control. She didn't, or did she leave you with any kind of anxiety about it?
No, I was just aware that people had like, I could see on TV that maybe people had lots of money. I just liked money. I just liked it. I don't know. I like the feel of it. I like cash. I think it looked beautiful. I liked collecting it and like lining it all up and counting it. And my nan would have this massive penny jar, and I'd just count it every day, like tip it all out and line it all up and bag it up and take it to the bank. I just loved that.
It's quite common in children, kind of pre-puberty, kind of that sort of age, to play with money in that way, to organize and stack it. But obviously for you, it became an interest that, you know, in your whole life. Yeah. And I know you've spoken in other episodes about the kind of the debt and those experiences.
Thanks for watching them.
That's nice. Much appreciated.
Binge watched them. And and that had an impact, you said, on why you're here today and why what you do. And I guess the question that I had for you was, you know, do you feel that maybe you've kind of overcorrected?
100%. I save more money a month than anyone I know, and I still feel like it's not enough. Every night I look at my spreadsheets before I go to bed to make myself feel comfortable. I check my bank accounts constantly. You know, like it's just constantly checking how much money I'm earning.
So it's almost as if there's a part of you that is afraid that could actually happen again.
Yeah, it's all going to go away. Yeah.
Another part of you is conscious that that's kind of unlikely, considering how you've set yourself up and all these measures you put in place. But it's hard to get in touch with that and reassure yourself.
I also exist in a career where it can disappear in an instant. You get cancelled or you say the wrong thing. It's kind of like being a footballer, like you get injured socially, that it can disappear. And there's also this thing of potentially this can set my life up forever. And I don't want to like drop the ball, you know. So
it's the weight of the responsibility that this is you.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, it's a blessing though, because it's all led me to the point where I sit here and I help other people. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that like I have an unhealthy relationship with money behind the scenes. But I do, like, it's an obsession.
Well, I think you were talking in one of the episodes about every time you spend 100, you go and put away 100, and it's kind of an atonement, you know, and addressing that guilt. So it sounds like that's the biggest issue that you need to unpack. You know, where is that guilt coming from? And I would suspect it's not just about money, and I'd go and investigate there.
Yeah. There's like a big sense of feeling behind, which is ridiculous.
That's actually ridiculous. Because I don't have a sense of being behind, and I am behind. So I just don't understand how your brain works, mate.
Behind what?
Behind like other people.
Behind where I should be. Like I wasted my 20s and now I've got to catch up.
I think a lot of people wasted their 20s.
Yeah.
So it's about mourning the loss of those years.
Maybe.
Kind of accepting that that's gone and that you can only change what you do from here on. So it's almost as if a part of you is kind of stuck in that, trying to process the guilt that had to do with the debt and not using those years to get ahead.
Yeah. And there's like all the guilt of like earning a good amount of money now and what comes with that, and like worrying that I'll alienate my friends and people from where I'm from and my family, working class guilt kind of vibe, which sounds so woe is me. It's like a silly thing.
It's a real first world problem, right?
It's so first world. And to sit here and be like, oh, my wallet's so heavy.
My friends won't be able to relate to me anymore because I'm making too much bank.
Yeah, my wrists. Yeah, like I mean, I'm not flashy like that, so I don't have anything. But I earn a good amount of money.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not easy, and you're certainly not the only one to feel that it's difficult to spend and to enjoy money when our family didn't have enough, or when our friends still don't have enough, and there's guilt or shame in that too. And I say shame, which is different from guilt, because a lot of people might have grown up in an environment where there wasn't a lot of money. And how were the people who did have money talked about? Were they the greedy rich? Were they, morally corrupt? Were they, and when you become one of the people with money, then there might be shame, because there's a part of you thinking, well, what does that say about me? What will people think that makes me? And so there's kind of an internal conflict, because a part of you, knows that you worked hard and you deserve the money you have, but maybe there's a part of you that is, ashamed because of those messages that you took in or internalized about what being somebody with money makes you, in a way.
This is a clip from our episode with psychotherapist Vicky Raynor.
If you want to watch the full episode, you just click right here.